See, there's another one of the deceptions we have, and that is the idea that there should be only one definition of intelligence that should apply all across everybody. And that's going to get you in trouble the same way the concept of standard education gets you in trouble as well. The thing, though, that we are emphasizing here then is what all or most definitions of intelligence deal with, and that is goal orientation and adaptive behavior. Goal oriented means that it is conscious and deliberate rather than accidental. So a lot of people think intelligence in its broadest sense is something that sort of happens on people, and it's something that just sort of is just automatically inherited it, and people have it or they don't have it. And I want you to note that intelligence is related to the setting of goals. Goals. And we're going to see in a minute that one of the major reasons for the confusion of Black children, one of the major reasons for the kind of educational problems African children have over the world is because we as Black adults are not clear about the goals that we want to accomplish as people. Because it is the goals, that we set that organizes and informs intelligence. You see, if you have no goals and no sense of purpose, then there is no organization of the intellectual capacities of your children. We're going to come back to that. You have got to have cultural goals, people. You just can't send your children to school and expect them to learn when you have no real cultural goals and directions and things you want to accomplish. The first thing they ask you is, why am I studying this mathematics? Why do I have to learn this, Mama? Why do I have to read this? And because you have no sense of where you want to go as a people, you're at a loss to telling them to. Well, it'll get you a job. Don't you want to live better than we live in? Child's out there looking at people selling crack. What the hell? Why do I have to go through all of this? If this is merely what it's about, you've got to be able to inculcate the children with goals and have a goal orientation in order for them to organize their intelligence. And I'm going to show you, because you have let your future be determined by another people, your children's minds and brains have nowhere to go. And they have no reasons for learning, period. I'm telling you. The other aspect of intelligence has to do with the adaptive. The adaptive refers to the fact that intelligence consists of the ability to solve problems. Keep that in mind. To what? To solve problems. Not to score high on the IQ test. That is not intelligence. Not to score high on the SAT. That's coincidental. But to do what? Solve problems. Solve the problems that confront you as a people and solve the problems that confront you as an individual. I don't care how high you score on an IQ test. If you can't solve the problems that confront you as a people and as an individual, you are dumb. And you will be destroyed. See? And I'm telling you, you've heard me say before that regardless of the level of education of Black people, from the PhD level on down, there is a certain fundamental dumbness in the Black community. Yes, a dumbness. You talk about the crack dealer. Though he makes his thousands per month and maybe millions, who still doesn't know how to launder the money, still doesn't know how to legitimize the money, gets raided and the money is stacked up in the closet. Doesn't know what to do with it, period. But he is just as stupid as the Black middle classer who takes that little check and takes every ounce of that check and spends it, giving it to a white man to pay inflated rent and other kinds of stuff. Who will not save, who will not invest in the future of the children or in the future community. The same idiocy, is characteristic of them both. So you have the same dumbness that runs from the highly educated right down to the one right in the street. You're basically no different. Yeah. I was talking to Buffy one night, and he was complaining about the cars that the drug sellers were selling and the gold and stuff. I said, but really, brother, he's no fundamentally different from you. In a sense, you're just mad because he can buy the car you can buy. Because you're using that car to distinguish yourself in terms of class and, in terms of who you are, in terms of your status. And he's doing the same thing. So you're functionally operating on the same plane. You see, no difference. And you're just angry that he, being in one class different from yours, is able to conspicuously consume the same way you do. And now you're having a hell of a way determining how can you be distinguished from this person. It's the same game. You're still feeding white people. You're still buying overpriced junk and garbage. You're still imperiling the future of black people. You should study history in its real aspects. Read Barbara Tuchman's
What is good, my people? We are live back again with a live broadcast on the forecast. What's going on, Revolutionary Matron? What's going on, Bakari? I wasn't gonna go live, but I've been live every day this week, so you know what? I might as well go on here and say something. But I'm not gonna be too strict to the topic today. But try to stay within the realm of the conversation though. You know what I'm saying? But you can come on here and say whatever you want to say. And I'm gonna put the link in the chat. All right, but first and foremost, I gotta say, and anybody who has donated, y'all let me know if you got the email, that I sent. I know some people is not getting them, so maybe y'all gonna have to take my email and email me so I make sure that I got everybody's email. But I sent the message to everybody. Let me know if y'all get it or not. You know, I definitely want to talk to y'all. Meet with y'all. But the is almost up. The the fundraiser for the water crisis. Let me see here. So the Loudest County water crisis. We didn't even get close, y'all. And I'm not surprised or nothing like that. But it's because you know um I know it wasn't time for that kind of thing yet. You know what I'm saying? But if you can try to help somebody, and of course I'm gonna keep trying to help, but by then we'll see what happened. But rest assured, other people have come to help us with our issues. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to make everybody aware of that. And if you donated, let me know if you got the email, because I definitely want to what I'm saying, talk to you. But there will be a time and place for this. So what I'm saying, it's just wasn't the time or place. But anything could happen in the next 2 weeks, so we'll see. But yeah, I had to share that real quick. So like I said, I'm not gonna I don't really have a strict topic, but I there is some videos that I'll go through, and like I said, anybody can come on if you want to come on, if you got anything to say about these videos. But we'll just go through and try to get through all of them, because I don't plan on being on here all night either. But so I'm gonna go ahead and start with the first one. Now, speaking of Alabama, I'm not really sure if y'all heard about what's going on in a lot of counties down in Alabama. And before I gotta give a shout out to my good sister Erica Howard. Hopefully she's doing better, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely trying to get in contact with her, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely got to shout her out. But anyway, speaking of Alabama, and what's going on with the water crises and all of this kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? They are also they have also been in the news lately because a lot of their racist police, stuff is being discovered. So this is in Vincent, Alabama, where the whole police department has been disbanded, after they received messages. And I'm only gonna play like a minute.
Back to the Factor Uncensored. The entire police department in Vincent, Alabama has dissolved. It's a small city. The force was made up of 3 people, but they all had to go after some racist text messages surfaced. The text shows an officer asking, "What do you call a pregnant slave?" It goes on to read, "BOGO, buy one, get one free." City leaders didn't find the joke funny. Tonight we don't, and we talk about it.
All right, so yeah, you see what they were saying. What do you call a pregnant slave? A BOGO, buy one, get one free. So, apparently, I guess the whole town's police department was in this group text where they, I guess, say, racist jokes. And, you know, this is, another story about it.
In a town with fewer than 2,000 people, news spreads quickly. During a packed city council meeting, Vincent residents gathered to express their anger and frustration about Assistant Police Chief John Goss. He's accused of sending a racially offensive text message to other officers. Lifelong resident Sharon Davis is shocked.
These are people that are supposed to protect and serve, and to know that they're sending these racist texts or making racist comments and things like that, it makes you not have any trust in them.
According to the Shelby County NAACP President Kenneth Dukes, one of the officers shared the text message with others and it started to circulate.
It was disappointment and frustration. It's just why? The continued question is why.
Man, oh man, what is this why question that Black people seem to have? It seems to transcend, K, I don't know all the languages, what I'm saying? Y'all can come on and speak our native tongue and say why. But that seems to be the question that we have. Why? Why would they do such a thing? I mean, we've only been through like at least the last 600 years, but possibly thousands of years. But why? It makes no sense. Why not is my question. Why not for you?
It's just why? The continued question is why.
Dukes tells me the officer was asked to apologize to city council, but he doesn't feel that's enough.
There's a fear factor. If this person thinks this way of you, how can he serve you?
I think we all would feel unsafe, because if he sends racist texts like that, then we don't know what his next move is.
Right. So, apparently we still don't know what the moves are. Apparently we're still surprised. But there's a lot of little towns in Alabama and they go through a lot. Yo, what's going on, Raw? Peace to you. Glad you came through. But yo, it's this question of why, And I named this show Deliberately Accidental. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of stuff that seems to happen, it's an accident, but it seems to be pretty deliberate. But the lack of deliberate energy with us, because if we even want to say something, we'll make excuses about it. We're not going to be deliberate about whatever we choose to do. But down in Alabama, there's a lot of stuff going on. So, I had to play that, and definitely, hopefully, something will happen, what I'm saying? The sky will crack, and then maybe we'll get enough money to help these people. And Raw, let me know, because I'm gonna email you personally though, Raw, so I ain't sent one to you yet. But I'm gonna send one to you and I'm gonna, talk to you. But maybe the sky will crack and everything will work out. All right, so let me go to the next thing. I'm gonna just go through this until somebody come on, you know. Now this brother here is plays in the NBA, Norman Powell, and I'm pretty sure y'all saw this, but it happened a few weeks ago. But he got harassed by some white bitch talking about he's not American, and probably like that go back to Africa stuff. But you know, let's play this video.
Girl was insane, bro. She came in here earlier talking noise and we sent her away. She came back talking crazy, saying that we're not American, which is pretty crazy to me.
You're not American.
How am I not American?
How are we not American?
I was born and raised here.
My family.
My descendants is from Africa, yes.
My family.
But I am American. I was born here.
And I was a slave.
How were you a slave? What made you a slave?
Because I was black and my last name's Howard.
You were black?
Yes.
You got revitiligo? You like Uncle Ruckus? You seen the Boondocks? You like Uncle Ruckus?
I like.
You got revitiligo?
I like the blues.
What does that have to do with anything?
Our music. What does our music have to do with it?
Oh, we already called the police. We already called the police. They're on the way.
Don't lie.
We already called the police.
No, you ain't.
We already called the police. My man's on the phone right now talking to the police. My man's on the phone talking to the police. Oh, you're on live. You're on Instagram live right now.
You know that I come from a family of gamblers.
That's cool.
My grandfather.
That has nothing to do with what you're talking about right now.
Paid for my
That has nothing to do with what you're talking about. Literally nothing to do.
She could barely bend her
Literally
finger
nothing to
from
do.
the
I do not care.
From playing
I
poker.
do not care.
And I'm calling
I
your
do not
shit.
care.
I
do not care. I do not care.
Now, this brother here is a millionaire athlete in the NBA right now, you know, and he gets minutes and everything, you know, and he's at a gym taking his time out to argue with what seems like a drunk white bitch who's talking about, oh, I'm black, I was a slave or whatever. Now, he didn't have nothing to say about any of that other kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? But this brother is literally sitting there, you know, arguing with her. You know, why? You know, it makes no sense. But speaking of athletes, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all saw the whole thing with Terrell Owens, you know, shout out to Better Medicine Podcast. He played it on his video. I didn't even know it was Terrell Owens at first. But of course he gave his interview. Now, these are our athletes, you know what I'm saying? Like the superior, you know, athletic, you know, could be front lines of the Warriors. But like, yo, when we was doing that video, looking at the coon react to the coon, you know, the one brother who was a former NFL player was, you know, just talking so soft and so sweet. You know, I don't want to offend these little white children. And then you turn around and look at the energy that we seem to have for ourselves all the time. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what up, MG2? What up, Rashid? Peace to y'all. So, you know, from one athlete, from one sport to another. This is actually Terrell Owens speaking out about what happened. I ain't even watched this whole video, so you know, this is I only watched like the first minute, but I'm gonna play it.
NFL Hall of Famer Terrell Owens. He's speaking out first right here to GMA about a heated argument he had with a woman in his neighborhood. It's all caught on camera. TJ Holmes is here with the story on this. This video is something.
It's something because you hear her accuse Owens of harassing her and coming after her. His other offense, according to her, that you hear her say clearly, and I quote, "You're a black man approaching a white woman." Now, he says that's when it goes from being something heated, exchange, as you say, to something potentially dangerous, and he wants her held accountable.
He got out of his car and started harassing me. He put his car in park.
Right, because you're going to yell at me and telling me I'm almost hit you, and I didn't.
But you didn't have to get out of your car.
NFL Hall of Famer Terrell Owens wants people to see this video he recorded of a heated exchange between him and his Florida neighbor.
He ran the stop sign.
Well, there is no stop sign. What are you talking about?
Owens, a longtime NFL star receiver with the Niners, Eagles, and Cowboys, was accused.
And they be knowing they be trolling y'all. Like, he's like, yo, what are you talking about? She knows she's lying. Like, come on. Like, how can a liar not know that they're lying? You know, some people will be like, you know, some people are just crazy and not. If you know the answer is no and you say yes, you know that you're lying. And why are you sitting there trying to talk to her and all of this? You know, I don't understand that part, you know.
By a neighbor of speeding, nearly hitting her, and harassment.
You put your car in
What up, my brother Roy O? What's going on? It's been a minute. How you, my brother?
park and you came
Yeah,
at me.
first of all, I didn't come at you.
Yes, you did.
Owens keeps his camera rolling as their back and forth continues with an officer on scene. And then the woman makes this statement.
A black man approaching a white woman.
Like I said, this could have turned really bad. Like I said, I don't know where it could have gone had the police come in and they basically took her word for something, you know, that she said that I didn't do.
Now, wait a minute. Now, this is neither here nor there, right? But no matter how you feel about the thing, though, right? But when the whole protest about kneeling, I believe he was in the NFL. Does anybody remember his reaction, or what do you think his reaction was to the protesting of stuff like this from happening?
Or what have you. Like I said, we've seen it a number of other times as well.
Owens spoke exclusively to GMA overnight about the incident and that racially charged statement.
If the roles were reversed, I'd probably be in jail or something to that magnitude right now, honestly. And just the statement that she made, obviously, that came out of her mouth, the comments exactly was a black man approaching a white woman. I think that kind of says what you want to know, you know what I mean, about the situation.
I've seen it. I've seen it. Do you have your ID? I've seen it. Yes, I've seen it, but this is firsthand.
Owens is now pushing for the woman to face consequences, retweeting this petition calling for her to face jail time for making a false.
Now, I want to know, when do we forgive them? Like, do we only want them to face jail time when it happens directly to us? So should each individual wait until it happens directly to us? Or because I do remember it, like it does. I may be wrong here because I'm not, don't have the vaguest memory about this particular thing, but it doesn't seem like he was, ever have spoke up for black people or none of this kind of stuff from happening. But, when it happens to him, oh man, this could be a danger.
Police report. Owens believes accountability is important here in the wake of other recent high-profile incidents of police being called on Black Americans.
Okay, he wasn't playing. That's why I'm like, I can't really remember clear. But I'm like, he talked about it or something. It was something shaky that he did.
Under dubious pretexts for doing mundane things, from walking, napping, sitting at a Starbucks, even bird watching.
I'm being threatened by a man in the Ramble. Please send the cops immediately.
In that infamous case of the Central Park bird watcher, that woman was charged for filing a false police report. Owen says he's grateful for how police handled his situation.
Honestly, I want to commend the Broward, police, those policemen that came up, because this could have been, this could have gone totally left. Had they not come in and handled the situation the right way.
We did reach out to the woman in this incident, and we did not hear back from her. Of course, we don't know what happened before the video started rolling, but a lot of people look at this. Two neighbors get into it. Somebody says something stupid. Everybody move on. Others will look at this and are immediately reminded of a deep and difficult history in this country, documented history of African Americans suffering bodily injury or death because of false accusations made by members of the white community. And we think that's so far in our past. What just happened a few months ago? Biden signed the Emmett Till anti-lynching law.
And like yesterday, they said Carolyn Bryant can go free to live peacefully forever. But that's ironic, though, don't y'all think? They signed the Emmett Till anti-lynching bill, 65, 70 years later. But the person who was responsible for that happening, you know what I'm saying, they found they're not going to press charges on that person. I mean, hey, it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't add up, but I mean, it does when you realize the kind of math that we're doing.
This year in 2022, after that young man whose death changed the course of this country, this video is not going to change that, but maybe.
All right, so y'all see what's going on, Ryan Carmichael. Y'all saw T.O.'s reaction to that, you know what I'm saying? And something that I wanted to show, but I don't have it. I ain't get it. And I wanted to ask y'all this, this white girl just came out and said Karen is the new N-word, and people have to stop saying Karen because it's the equivalent of using the N-word, and a bunch of Karens are, agreeing with that. So I did want to ask y'all what y'all thought about that, because in the video he called her a Karen. And she was like, you're a racist for calling me a Karen, you know what I'm saying? Even though I started the incident by messing with you, But this is T.O. here, T.O., and he's sitting there explaining himself, to this old white chick, you know what I'm saying? And she knows she's lying, but in using the threats that she knows how to use, I guess she couldn't squeeze her eyes tight enough to get some tears, but all right, so the next thing I want to show y'all is, now I don't know if y'all remember this brother who was messing with the that white girl. For those of you brothers who are multiracial out there, is this brother messing with this white girl who's Instagram model, and she ended up stabbing him to death. Yeah, I feel you, brother Royo. But apparently some more stuff have came out, over the last day and a half that has explained a lot of the stuff that we already seem to know, but they just now charged her. But I'm gonna go back and show y'all this case from a few months ago. Now, I talked about this, they tried to blame it, but even some of her friends was like, well, no, she was aggressive. She was always beating him up. She's like crazy. And a few hours before she stabbed his brother, she was on Instagram Live, talking, crazy, you know what I'm saying, doing what she do. And, it's just a lot of evidence. But I did a live about that, when it happened. But this is a video from that.
The aftermath of a grisly crime, a social media influencer covered in blood after police say she stabbed her boyfriend to death.
And days after the killing, she's not yet facing any charges. And the victim's family wants answers. Local 10's Joseph Ojo, live in Miami with the latest on the investigation. Joseph.
Louis, and this story is getting national attention. Was this killing self-defense or not? The family of that man say they don't believe so, and they want to see that Instagram model arrested. Family members of 27-year-old Christian Obumseli searching for answers after his girlfriend, 25-year-old Courtney Clenny, stabbed him to death.
I do believe she is the killer, and she does need to be arrested.
Video from TMZ showing a bloody Clenny moments after the IG model.
Now, I believe this girl covered in his blood, you know what I'm saying, chilling. I believe she's the killer. She stabbed this dude, stabbed him up, you know what I'm saying, after an argument and stuff like that. And,
killed Obumseli inside their Miami apartment. Friends say Courtney has a...
I want you to see this brother's friends here, you know what I'm saying? He accepted his invitation to the picnic, you know what I'm saying?
Violent history of being the aggressor.
I've seen her hit him. I've never seen him hit her.
But one neighbor says otherwise.
Not tell if it was open-handed or close-handed.
Now, I want y'all to listen to this douchebag right here. It seemed like he was jealous and hating on him, but you see her friends like, well, I seen her, you know what I'm saying? She was pretty violent. She always used to hit him. He never really hit her back. And, he probably sat there with one of those grins on his face like, oh, honey, stop. And then she was like, yo, shut up, you N-word, you know what I'm saying? Smack him again. Oh, honey, stop, But this is what this dude had to say.
But one neighbor says otherwise.
Not tell if it was open-handed or close-handed, but he was swinging at her.
Before Obumseli was stabbed in the shoulder, police say there was a struggle. He died at the hospital.
My brother was so caring.
We heard from the Obumseli family Friday. They flew in from Houston, Texas.
He was a friend to everyone. Very caring, funny, very bright.
Investigators still trying to figure out if Clenny acted in self-defense. And in the past, police have showed up for disturbance calls at the couple's apartment. An attorney for Clenny said in a statement, clearly none of this was intended and Courtney is struggling mentally with the aftermath of what occurred that evening. This is a tragedy for all involved, but it was not criminal conduct. Courtney was defending herself and the investigation will reveal exactly that.
All right, so you heard it. She was defending herself and it would show exactly that. So I'm showing this because the other day, you see, this is from today, it's recently been a video discovered, you know what I'm saying, one of those incidents. Because I know they're going to play like those elevator videos all the time when it's a black man, but we going to give this elevator video some run right here. You know what I'm saying? But I guess it's okay. She's just, feisty. She's not one of those aggressive, angry. Never mind. There's no sound on the video. Okay. Oh damn, my bad, y'all. I'm gonna share it.
Her Instagram model with millions of followers. Now she's charged with
Y'all can see it now, right? I wasn't sharing it. My bad.
murdering her boyfriend. She's claiming it was self-defense, but prosecutors have released this video of the model.
And y'all let me know if y'all saw the first video that I showed about this from a couple months ago. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play this.
Fighting with her boyfriend that they say proves she was the aggressive one in the relationship. Here's Amber Cogliano.
It's shocking video. A young woman fights with her boyfriend in the elevator of their Miami apartment building. She repeatedly hits him and throws punches. At one point, he pushes her away. The woman is 26-year-old Courtney Clenny, a popular Instagram model with two.
That's what I'm saying. They would call her feisty for this, you know what I'm saying? Or, she's not the loud, aggressive, angry, white bitch.
2 million followers.
Do you need a boyfriend? No, you don't.
Clenny hit the headlines in April when she allegedly stabbed her boyfriend to death in their apartment. Clenny claims she acted in self-defense after her boyfriend, Christian Obumseli, attacked her. But now, a bombshell new development.
We are charging 26-year-old Courtney Taylor Clenny with 1 count of second-degree murder in Christian's death.
Prosecutor Catherine Fernandez Rundle played the elevator video shot 2 months before Obumseli was killed at a news conference on the case. She says the couple had a violent and toxic 2-year relationship with arguments so fierce the building management were planning to evict them.
The video, we felt, was just a very descriptive way to show what the relationship was and who was the aggressor.
The day Obumseli was killed, it was Clenny who called 911.
On that 911 call, Christian can be heard in the background repeatedly saying that he was dying. Clenny is also heard saying, "I'm so sorry, baby."
According to the prosecutor, Clenny said she actually threw the knife at her boyfriend from about 10 feet away. But forensic evidence allegedly shows otherwise. Clenny was arrested in Hawaii, where her lawyer says she was in rehab for substance abuse and post-traumatic stress disorder.
Now, after she stabbed this brother, she went to Hawaii to go to quote unquote rehab. I mean, I don't know what she's rehabbing from. Maybe rehabbing from being an N-word lover. But, and by the way, this is the ones who are you saying can have black children. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about what we're saying when we say, who's black and who's not. She can have a black child. Y'all realize that? She could have had a black child, according to some people.
Yesterday, she was wearing a black tank top and looked close to tears at a hearing to extradite her back to Miami.
Can you please tell me your full name?
Clenny will not fight extradition. Her lawyer says there is clear evidence of self-defense, claiming that Obumseli attacked her and choked her that evening, and that Clenny had no choice but to meet force with force. But the prosecutor says this explosive video proves she was the aggressor in the volatile relationship.
Courtney Clenny's defense attorney called that fighting video irrelevant because it doesn't show what happened the night of the stabbing and says it will likely be inadmissible at the trial.
Now, I don't know if she's Italian or not, but she's definitely, you know, but yeah, they ended up charging her, you know, with like second degree or something like that. And we'll see what happens. She probably get off, you know, during the trial, or if they'll even, you know, go to court or anything like that. But you see that, you know, the video shows, but this is something obvious that we know, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of us try to protect and try to not talk about that side of it. You know what I'm saying? So speaking of that, I'm gonna play this next one.
Videotaping for the cops aren't gonna do shit. This should go right around your neck, you little nigger. Have fun, dude. Something behind me. Fox is watching you. There's actual video camera right there, and it's piping right into Fox. You'll get some therapy. God.
All right, so you know, that's some crazy stuff right there. I don't know what y'all would do if you know, somebody like that lived next to y'all. But yeah, that was interesting. But I want to show y'all the next thing, you know what I'm saying? Because it's interesting how that we are in the position that we are in, you know what I'm saying? And I think that even those quote unquote poor white people that everybody want to take up, they should be, you know, rebelling against their, you know what I'm saying, whatever, you know, if they really thought about it. But it's amazing how other people have this privilege in this system of this society set up for them, yet they are willing to take more action and do what they have to do, right? Regardless of what it is, regardless of who is in their way, they're going to do what they have to do. So let me show this next thing about this white boy who just tried to attack the FBI in Columbus. So let me show this video.
It's about the armed man killed after trying to attack the FBI Cincinnati office. Tonight, we can confirm Ricky Schiffer is from Columbus. Tin TV can also exclusively confirm that last night, the FBI and Columbus police staged outside an apartment on West 3rd Avenue linked to Schiffer. Right now, we do not know what those agents were looking for, if anything, inside. The Bureau now investigating his ties to white right-wing extremists and the social media posts that appear to have been posted during the attempted breach. Public records reveal Schiffer was connected to several Columbus addresses over the past few years. His Ohio voter's registration is connected to the West 3rd address that police guarded for the FBI last night. Now, public records also show he was also registered to vote in Florida. The attempted attack coming as some supporters of former President Donald Trump are increasing their threatening rhetoric after the FBI seized nuclear documents from the former president's Florida estate.
Now, after Donald Trump got raided, You know what I'm saying? And let me keep playing because he's going to say more on it.
Date. 10 TV has live team coverage tonight from Ohio all the way to the nation's capital. We began with 10 TV's Kevin Landers, who's been investigating Schiffer's background all day long. He's in a digital broadcast center tonight with the latest. Kevin.
Well, good evening. According to the Franklin County Common Pleas Court, Schiffer may have had some financial problems. Back in June, there was a lien filed against him for failing to pay $553 in income taxes. Here's what else we've learned about him and his social media posts.
42-year-old Ricky Schiffer, who the Highway Patrol says died in a shootout after trying to get inside the FBI Cincinnati office, made multiple posts on Donald Trump's social media page, Truth Social. The posts call for FBI agents to be killed and for people to take up arms and, quote, be ready for combat in the wake of the search of Donald Trump's home.
All right. So first and foremost, you know what I'm saying, how they use these airwaves, this quote unquote media, is to link up with other like-minded people on forums designed for like-minded thems. They know that not everybody is going to be ready for combat, in his words, right? And you understand when Donald Trump office gets raided, it lets him know, well, this is it's time. But we can see all of the recent events and all of this stuff, and the thing that they have in common is the way that they're interacting with each other, the way they're reaching out with each other, you know what I'm saying, and the fact that they are prepared for war and they are going to go do that. Now they're going to say later in this video he was a part of the January 6th committee, but he didn't get charged or anything like that. But understand, other people are fighting for, even though he has a certain privilege that he knows he has, and no matter what he thinks he had, but losing whatever little bit that he is, that he can't walk around and call you N-word and hang you because they passed the Emmett Till bill now. So apparently he can't do it anymore, you know. But see, that little bit of getting taken away from, well, we got to bring America back to what it is. And they are willing to stand and die for their beliefs and their right to what they want to have is freedom, you know what I'm saying? Which is, unfortunately for us, the opposite, right? So therefore, if somebody's willing to do this in a position of luxury, in a position where they have a certain quote unquote privilege that their system has afforded them to where they can storm the Capitol and walk away with it. Meanwhile, you know, we can't have a brother, you know, we just seen some of this stuff, you know. But at all times, they are telling each other to be ready and using these forums, using these games, using the internet, using YouTube, using Reddit, using DonaldTrump.com or whatever they was on. They are using this stuff. The Donald Trump app that Bakari has been telling y'all to go troll them, because maybe you would have picked up some information and known when the next thing was going to happen. Or you could have found out something useful.
For combat in the wake of the search of Donald Trump's home, according to a law enforcement official. 10 TV spoke to CBS News chief.
Yo, what up, JB?
National Affairs and Justice correspondent Jeff Pegues about the latest on the investigation.
But investigators right now, they're looking into his background, even though he is deceased. They want to see if he had any extremist ties, if there was someone who may have helped him.
At least one of Schiffer's social media posts appeared to have been sent after he tried to breach the FBI office. It said, quote, "If you don't hear from me, it's true.
If you don't hear from me, it's true. I tried attacking the FBI." Now, some would say, you know what I'm saying, if you want things to happen, you know what I mean?
I tried attacking the FBI. It's unclear if his actions were tied to the FBI search of Trump's home.
I don't know if we'll ever know that for certain, but if you look at some of the evidence in the last several days, the suspect posted numerous times on Truth Social, and, you know, he was sort of echoing some of the themes that we've seen, some of the potential threats that law enforcement has seen.
10 TV has confirmed that the Ohio Highway Patrol has requested BCI to investigate their use of force that led to Schiffer's death. Court records show Schiffer lived mostly around the campus area. Schiffer's most recent address in Columbus was on West 3rd Street. On Thursday, Columbus police were seen guarding the address at the request of the FBI. Schiffer also listed addresses on Chilcote, Summit, and Sullivan Avenues, along with his apartment in St. Petersburg, Florida, as of June of this year. It's that address that's tied to the lien out of Franklin County.
Investigating the attack in Cincinnati as an act of domestic extremism. Now, according to our sources, Schiffer was in Washington during the January 6th insurrection, but according to law enforcement, he was not charged with any crime. Reporting live from the Digital Broadcast Center, Kevin Landers, 10 TV News.
Kevin,
All right. JB, you said a little domesticated voice in my head wants to call him crazy. I would not call him crazy. I would call us crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because and the irony is, right, this white boy, you know, he's in a land that is built for his freedom, his protection at the end of the day, which is why, you know, he was able to post about stuff, go to and be involved in January 6th. But we see here, we talked about yesterday, the African Socialist Party, and how, you know, they're grilling them about whether or not they took money, but, you know, of course they got arrested, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, this white boy can do what he does until he shoots it out with the FBI. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, WIE, he showed them that already. Well, a lot of them agree with that, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, that's the thing. You don't know who's on the other side of these forums with them. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, people put their real mindset on social media, although they may not put their plans on there. But while we're busy, you know, going after each other, you know, it's important to understand, you know what I'm saying, what could be happening. Now, he was willing to go after the FBI because they raided Donald Trump. You know, it could be deeper than that. You know, it probably is. But they've been coming up with something for a long time where they're trying to, like, overthrow the Constitution. I can't think of the right word for it right now, but let me see. All right. But I'm gonna play some more.
Thank you. Tonight, we are also getting a better idea of the timeline of yesterday's event. While we don't know exactly when Ricky Schiffer showed up to that FBI office, we do know when he tried to get inside.
The FBI says around 9:15 Thursday morning, Ricky Schiffer, wearing body armor and
now look how long this took, you know.
Armed with a rifle, attempted to breach the agency's Cincinnati field office. Agents confronted him in the seconds after, but he got away, driving north towards Columbus. About 20 minutes later, state troopers located Schiffer driving his Crown Victoria northbound on Interstate 71. Troopers say he opened fire as troopers pursued him. At 9:53, Schiffer abandoned his car on a rural road located just off the interstate. Law enforcement surrounds him and a shootout starts. Troopers block off roads and lock down a 1-mile radius. Hours pass by as troopers and the FBI try to negotiate with him.
Hours pass by as they try to negotiate. After he ran up in the FBI offices, tried to shoot it out with them, got on a high-speed chase, you know what I'm saying, endangered a bunch of people. Well, I don't know. It looked like they somewhere in, you know, the hills have eyes, Idaho somewhere. Then after he pulled over and get in a shootout with them, they negotiate for hours. Okay.
Using what they describe as less lethal tactics. But the efforts failed. At 3:42, the state patrol says Ricky Schiffer raised his gun at them again, and that's when law enforcement officers opened fire, killing him.
All right, so from 9 in the morning to, I mean, they had a full shift right there, you know. What is that, 6-7 hours? 7 hours? Okay. Now, this is coming from somebody, you know, who has the privilege to be able to do that. But still, the mindset of, you know, he wants something to happen, so he made it happen. And you say all the time, you know, we have to start responding with more urgency than they do. You know what I'm saying? They respond with urgency to keep us, to maintain their position. And we have to respond with more urgency to get out of the position that we are in. yet we cannot do the simple little things like have our mind correct, you know what I'm saying? Try to justify reasons for why they do what they do. But that's how they got the privilege that they got, you know, and sometimes it takes stuff like that to get a certain kind of privilege, but you know. Anyway, I want to show you something in the complete reverse, you know, because I want to show you something with these brothers in reverse, you know.
A cop who's been shot. Cop gets shot. People are there. They help the cop. Interesting dynamics here. So let me first take you to the video. Here it is.
Hey, I need another tourniquet. Hurry up, man. Come on. We got shot about this one. Hey, go help him. He's in there. Hey, I got you. I'm not. Hurry up. He already cuffed. Already there, bro. Relax. Sleeping now, but she cuffed up. Who else is in here?
Let's put up the picture of one of the individuals who helped save that cop after the cop was shot. This was after midnight when all of it went down, Friday, July 29th. Matthew Weekly was near the Franklin Mini Mart when he heard a gunshot. Not too long after I heard the shot, he said they brought the trooper out and he was just bleeding and we attended to him, Mr. Weekly said, all right? This was in Pennsylvania. Weekly and other Good Samaritans did not hesitate to help the state trooper, whose name is Johnny Schooley, who had a gunshot wound to his leg. You see all of them helping the officer. The group of men used the shirts off of their own backs to help the trooper who was losing a lot of blood and could have bled out and died. Now, here's a point I want to make. 2 days ago, I did a story about multiple police officers who responded to the scene of a black male who was stabbed and inside of an elevator where the elevator could not close. When these officers responded and the man is bleeding out, the girlfriend who called the cops said, "Why are you letting him bleed out like that?" The response was, "Oh, we're not the paramedics. No, that's not our jobs. Paramedics on the way." And they watched this man bleed and did nothing. Man goes to the hospital, he dies because of the inaction of these cops. They lacked humanity. Come to find out, the primary cop had first aid training and his actions were completely against protocol of his department. Once again, the policy says one thing, but the culture says something else. And then in this story, we literally have the opposite. We have individuals who do not seem to have any special training in first aid, but they are taking clothing off of their own bodies in order to save the life of a police officer who has been shot. So what does this say? This says,
all right, before he gives his answer, we're gonna start right there. Yo, what up, Tanzan? Now, I'll put the link in the chat. Now, if I know any church songs, I would sing it right now. But these brothers took the shirt off of their backs to ensure, and I ain't gonna say nothing because there's no telling what how you may feel about that. But these brothers took the shirt off of their backs to rush over there, make a tourniquet, make sure this brother is living. Now that's that we love everybody, you know what I'm saying? That's that emotion that we seem to be controlled by. So, I'm not even gonna say what I want to say. I'm gonna just go to the next thing. All right, my bad. Let me go to the next thing. Yo, what up, Jerome? What's going on? All right, yeah, I just got to show this just to get our, you know what I'm saying, equilibrium back right. So let me show the next one.
I'm about to put my hands on your old ass. Get the fuck out my way.
Can you go get some help?
I don't give a fuck. Get
Go
the
sit
fuck
down.
out my way.
Sit down.
It's old motherfuckers like you, and then y'all wonder why black people act the fuck up. Because you white.
Now, it's interesting in this case. I wonder if this sister is being loud, or should she shut her mouth, or, well, you know, I'm not sure if we just gonna like not. Should I take this down just because it's a black woman that's already screaming, or I don't know.
Because I'm about to put my hands on your old ass. Get the fuck out my way.
Can you go get some help?
I don't give a fuck. Get
Go
the
sit
fuck
down.
out my way.
Sit down.
It's old motherfuckers like you, and then y'all wonder why black people act the fuck up. Because you white bitches think y'all got it all. But you got the right motherfucking one, bitch. Fucking try me. Yeah, smile all the fucking more out of spit in your motherfucking face. You better back the fuck up. And what? That's a threat? Is that a threat? What? Listen, what the fuck you talking about listening to you? You told your wife to go find a seat, and you took it upon yourself to turn the fuck around and get in my motherfucking face. Now if I can put my hand on your
Now this white bitch was messing with her. You know what I'm saying? According to her story right there, the white girl was messing with her. The white dude tried to be her shining armor or whatever, and told her to have a seat, and then jumped up in his sister's face, according to what she said.
around and get in my motherfucking face. Now if I can put my hand on your old ass, get the fuck out of my face. Yeah. What?
That's all you need.
That's the goddamn right. Get the fuck out of my face. Get the fuck out of my face.
This man is assaulting her.
What's wrong with you, motherfucker?
He assaulted her. I'm recording
The
it right
fuck
now.
is wrong with you? What?
Yeah.
What? No, get his ass back. No, get him the
You see this old dude?
fuck out my face.
This man is assaulting her.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, y'all, because he tried to hit her. You know what I'm saying?
Get the fuck out of my face. Get the fuck out my face.
This man is assaulting her.
What's wrong with you, motherfucker?
He assaulted her. I'm recording
The
it right
fuck
now.
is wrong with you? What?
Yeah.
What? No, get his ass back. No, get him the fuck back. I'm sick of these fucking crackers. I'm sick of the crackers. No, get him the fuck back. No, hell no. Get him the fuck back.
Black dude
No,
in the
fuck
scene.
no. Get him the fuck back. You gonna hit me? Move. Move. I'm sick of you crackers. I'm gonna fuck you up.
Now, I don't know about Bakari and America's First Rifleman. If they would have been there, like then they would have been like, "Oh, snap! She's beating this white dude up. Let me go jump in there and like this dude is doing." Or if they would have been like, you know, they would have said she's loud. Let me mind my business, or what would have happened. But I'm gonna play this one more time, y'all. I ain't gonna say nothing.
Fuck out my way, cause I'm about to put my hands on your old ass. Get the fuck out my way.
Can you go get some help?
I don't give a fuck. Get
Go
the
sit
fuck
down.
out my way.
Sit down.
It's old motherfuckers like you, and then y'all wonder why black people act the fuck up. Because you white bitches think y'all got it all. But you got the right motherfucking one, bitch. Fucking try me. Yeah, smile all the fucking more out of spit in your motherfucking face. You better back the fuck up. And what? That's a threat? Is that a threat? What? Listen, what the fuck you talking about listening to you? You told your wife to go find a seat, and you took it upon yourself to turn the fuck around and get in my motherfucking face. Now if I can put my hand on your old ass, get the fuck out of my face. Yeah. What?
As soon as he tried to base up. Now let me say this, you know, because I know some people will be like, "Oh, this is old man. So I would have let this old man jump up in your face like he, master, what I'm saying, James, and it'd be like, or, y'all let me know if I'm wrong here for playing this so much.
And get in my motherfucking face. Now if I would put my hand on your old ass, get the fuck out of my face. Yeah. What? What?
That's all you need.
That's the goddamn right. Get the fuck out of my face. Get the fuck out of my face.
This man is assaulting her.
What's wrong with you, motherfucker?
He assaulted her. I'm recording
The
it right
fuck
now.
is wrong with you? What?
Yeah.
What? No, get his ass back. No, get him the fuck back. I'm sick of these fucking crackers. I'm sick of you crackers. No, get him the fuck back. No, hell no. Get him the fuck back. Move. No, fuck no. Get him the fuck back. You gonna hit me? Move. Move. I'm sick of you crackers. I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm gonna fuck.
All right, so let me hurry up and get this off the screen before I start a outrage amongst Facts Raw. Before I cause an outrage amongst, everybody. Because how dare, All right, so next I'm gonna go to something else. Now I don't know if y'all saw recently, y'all remember we was talking about that's all I'm trying to say, Raw. But apparently not, apparently no, we the only ones with that energy, Raw. But y'all, we remember when we was, mad a couple weeks ago about, Sesame Place and Sesame Street being a sundown town now. But there's been another water park incident where a whole family birthday party got canceled for some teenagers. And like I said, y'all could be the judge of this, if y'all want to. Yo, what's going on, my brother guy? All right, but I'm gonna play this one.
Water park decided to turn away a black family and had no justification on record. Here's the video.
We had a
Wait, hold on, my bad. All right.
Apparent racism. Let me take you to Missouri. A Missouri water park decided to turn away a black family and had no justification on record. Here's the video.
We had a very
Cancel on a kid's birthday party, a private party. Because
You're not comfortable.
Because you're not comfortable with what are you uncomfortable with?
Because we're black.
Outreach.
Because we're black. Because we're black. Because we're black. Because we're black.
I can respect
I got a lot of background to this story. So according to the report, the kids actually saved their money. They paid for this. It was prepaid. The individual who decided not to allow them to enjoy the festivities that they paid for simply felt uncomfortable with all of these black people, obviously. Let me give you background. Let's put up a picture of the family, all right? They never should have experienced this. Justice should be served quickly here. I was just in disbelief that this was happening, LaShawn Evans said of what was supposed to be her son's 15-year-old Noah and 17-year-old Isaiah Evans pool party. I was hoping to have fun with my friends before we start school again to end the summer. This was their money, said Chris Evans, the father. The teens claim they reserved a full facility rental and paid a month in advance with their own money. The water park's supposed reason for the refusal is this. Lee's Summit officials on Monday defended canceling a black teenager's birthday party over the weekend, saying about 500 teens, about twice the number planned, showed up at the Summit Waves aquatic facility. The contract to rent out the Summit Waves was for 250 people. But Chris Evans said the family had rented extra security and planned to limit the number of people allowed inside the 250. After 250, nobody could get in, a simple enforcement of the rules. Chris Evans said, we didn't have keys to the door to just come in and do what we wanted. The park officer's capacity to accommodate more than 250 guests. Let me get into that. Among its rental options, now check this out. The Aquatic Center offers after-hour party rentals of its entire facility for various size groups. A small group for 100 or less guests, medium groups 100 to 250, large groups 251 to 1,400 guests. So the facility can hold capacity 1,400. So Lee Summit Mayor, his name is William Byard, urged the city and the city parks and recreation to reevaluate their approach, and saying an investigation is currently underway. The city is promising also a full refund. Now, there was an update to this story, but before I get to that update, let me remind everyone.
All right. But there you have it. Another situation, where another family going to another theme park doing the same thing. I wanted to play what the family said. I shouldn't have let that much play, but it is what it is. Let me let what the family was saying. So let them speak for themselves.
Different altogether. Tonight, after we pressed for more answers, Lee Summit officials doubled down on claims that 500 teens attempted to get into that pool party. The city told our Megan Abundance they had serious concerns about the safety of the party guests.
We all came in flip-flops and two pieces and Speedos and wanted to just jump in some water because it's 100 degrees.
The Evans family rented out Lee Summit Wave for 2 hours Saturday night for their 17 and 15-year-old sons. The price tag, $2,000, paid a month ago. The day of the party, they were turned away.
I saw his eyes and, he was tearing up because, like you said, the embarrassment, like we've been building this thing up the whole summer and all of my friends are here and you won't let us in.
The city of Lee Summit claims they canceled because several terms of a rental agreement were violated. Namely, the Evans family agreed to invite less than 250 people. But the city says there were way more than that number in the parking lot. In fact, they called police to help with crowd control 2 hours before the event started. The city says police roughly counted 500 teenagers, although the family disputes that. Another point of contention, the city said the Evans family agreed the event wouldn't be promoted on social media, but the boys did share an invitation on Instagram with their 19,000 followers. The city says they tried to contact the Evans family multiple times to talk about their concerns and security, and with no answer, they canceled the party. The Evans say they didn't get any of those calls. We've asked the city for phone records. Meanwhile, for the Evans, they maintained they weren't over the guest limit and instead believed they were being racially profiled.
That's what it is. If it was a large group of white folks walking up, it wouldn't be a problem.
She says to us that this event doesn't represent Lee Summit Waves and we're uncomfortable having you here.
We asked the city why not just let the first 250 people in and turn the rest away. They did not answer our question and referred us back to the rental agreement. In Kansas City, I'm Megan Abundance.
Yeah, because they're Negroes. It's not a hard question. All right. Now, I'll say this, you can't be mad at somebody else for excluding you from their business, from their home. And I would do the same thing, to be honest with you. Like, if I have a business, yeah, I'm going to definitely try to hire all black people first, you know, or only, as Tanzan would say. But we continue to ask them to allow us to give our money away to them, right? Yo, we don't learn anything from the situation. They didn't learn anything except for they got a free voucher for next time, you know. They might not post it on Instagram next time. But, you know, they spend thousands of dollars, and I understand there may not be black theme parks and stuff right now, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not telling nobody not to go to a theme park or nothing like that. But once it gets to a point where you're begging somebody to take your money, I'm just saying consider, you know, what you're doing. You know, it may not behoove you, because if anything, I would want to know the people that don't want to take my money, because I don't want to give it to them. Yo, what up, Mr. Untouchable? Yeah, down in the ghetto, yeah. But you know, I can't fault somebody else for doing that. And like I said, like, we're gonna want to do what we want to do. But you know, at a point, you don't want to, you know, beg to give whatever it is that we have to, you know, build ourselves up, and complain that somebody else, and then say it's for racist reasons, you know what I'm saying? And then just say, yo, please stop being racist and take my thousands of dollars. They're not going to stop, but they probably will take your money. And the thing is, you know, they've hated us so much that they wouldn't even take our money. They wouldn't sell you a piece of pie. And I've never heard any black people say that. Okay, that's what's up. That's a singer. But yeah, I'm a yeah, and you know they do. You know what I'm saying? And Raw, if you had, you know what I'm saying, to pick your customers, I ain't gotta ask you, but you know, a lot of us I do have to ask. We can't be mad at it. You know, that's the reason of capitalizing off of the situation. Well, you know what? I can't come in there. You know what? I'm gonna do this, and I'm going to open my own this way. Now, it's not going to happen tomorrow. And like I said, you know, I'm not telling nobody to not go to a theme park, not go to vacation, not spend your money. I'm just saying it would behoove you to stop protesting somebody who don't want you in their place. You know, that's all I'm saying. But I'm gonna I'll play these last two, and then I'm gonna just get out of here then. And like I said, if y'all want to come on, I'm gonna put the link one more time. But after these two, then I'm gonna be out of here. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna play this last one.
On the scene, decided it's okay for cops to call a suspect the N-word. They are now on administrative leave. I have the video. Here it is. So what you just saw were criminals. One cop decided to start using the N-word. Obviously, the other police officers are cool with that because it's culture over policy with them. And then the second officer that you saw on the camera, he literally ripped off the video recorder from the side of the home, ripped it off, thought that was the only recording device, and threw it in the bushes. Not only is he criminal, he's dumb, because just doing that does not stop the damn video that's already been recorded. Dumbass. 6 cops are now on administrative leave. The person in charge of them, you're going to really scratch your head here. West Point, Georgia. In West Point, Georgia, 6 police officers are now on administrative leave after a resident's video went viral. The incident was captured on a camera by home security footage. An officer is seen using the N-word when referring to the homeowner's son. The officer then threw her front door camera off her porch into nearby bushes. So let's go back to what's happening here. They're looking for somebody. This is the mother's home. They're at the mother's home. They're looking for somebody. Well, in the process, the cops started using the N-word, right? No objection. Nobody said, "Oh, hey, buddy, what are you doing? Why are you talking like that?" Because their culture is pro-racism. All right, so understand this. Number 2.
Yeah, Raw, they definitely are. That's why we keep repeating the same stuff over and over. You know what I'm saying?
It's a video I showed you. Now, are they arrested? No, none of them. They are on administrative leave. It's Ms. Madden's understanding. This is what the attorney said. It's Ms. Madden's understanding that the police were looking for her son. When she learned of that, she turned him into the police department or the sheriff's office, said attorney Wendell Major, who represents the family. Major said he's waiting to see how the situation is handled. I do have the cops' names, so let me give them to you directly. Donald Bramblett, Dylan Harmon, Zachary Habor, Sergeant William Osteen, and Detective Elizabeth Waganke are still on administrative leave over the incident. The GBI, Georgia Bureau of Investigation, they are looking into the case. Let me say something about the GBI and how they—
All right, yeah, so we already know cops investigating each other. You know what I'm saying? We know how that goes. MG2 and Tanzan, what's going on?
Greetings, Focused.
What's going on?
Greetings, MG2.
Yeah, I don't know who came on first, but I think it was MG2.
Well, I'm gonna listen to my sister Tanzan because she's gonna bring that knowledge.
Yeah, facts.
Oh man, you can't put pressure on me like that. Now I'm out of words. Yeah, but to me, it's this: we really do have to get our people together, not on these public platforms, but we have to start with a small group of people who are willing to do something. I don't know what it's going to be, but we can't just continue sitting back. Even now, protests don't even work anymore. Suing people, they don't even take you seriously. Like those people, they just told them, nope, we're sticking to our racist policies, and that's that. Before they would try. And sometimes I think maybe they're just doing this to even give themselves some negative publicity, because like they say, all publicity is good. So, maybe when they heard about what happened to those Sesame Street, because now everybody's talking about them, and, maybe it will turn off a few Black people, but guess what? It's going to drum up support amongst their fellow whites, So, most people didn't even know about it, but now everybody does. So, in fact, it's going to become whiter because now the Black people know not to go there, which I don't think they should continue anyway. But that's the risk that one takes when you use somebody else's tools and you're on somebody else's, you're renting basically, because you have to abide by the rules. You have to be allowed to use some things, and then when your landlord tells you you can't, then you have no rights. You just have to keep it moving. So but there has to be, there has to be some sort of way that people can, even anonymously, this is something that I don't know why we're so, scared as a people to do anything, because you don't even have to, nobody even has to know who did it, as long as it gets done, yeah, but I'll pass it on to MD2. I'm just theorizing now at this point.
TZ, I love your theorizing. I mean, because you hit the nail on the head. I gotta say, you did. I gotta give a special shout out to Sister Raw, RVV. You said what needed to be said. If we don't learn from the past, we will surely repeat it. And I'm glad she put that in the chat, because at this late stage of the game, if it's not enough for us to see that we're at war, then at this late stage of the game, it's our fault. Because clearly, if someone continues to punch you in the face and you think that it's going to be a different scenario or a different outcome, your face is going to end up looking like a relief map when you look in the mirror the next morning and the next morning and the next morning. And clearly, sooner or later, you won't be able to eat. You'll have your jaw wired shut. So at this late stage of the game, which when I say late stage of the game, we should have learned that, 500 years ago, because that was a late stage of the game too. But clearly, 5 to 6 centuries later, we tend to think that we can show a level of humanity to something that's not even human. I would go as far as saying they're not even animal, because even animals know their limits because they do it for survival. We're not dealing with a species that clearly should be on this planet. And it's not just me saying that. Look at what they've done to the planet. They've molested and destroyed everything from the smallest, which is the atom, to outer space and everything in between. Nothing is sacred. So at this late stage of the game, if we don't consider that as Africans to be kind of a clue, then it's our fault. Hopefully that this scenario and all the other scenarios that you had played, Brother Forecast, will wake some up to the, in other words, they'll wake some up to listen to those who have experience of knowing reality. Here's what I mean. These individuals that things are happening to, the water park, the sister that was on the street beating up the white boy, the white species, whatever, the virus, incident after incident. Hopefully they'll be able to listen to those who have experience knowing, in other words, us who see the realities of what we live. You speak about this, Brother Bakari speaks about this, Brother Guy speaks about it, TZ speaks about it. We see it, Sister Raw. I mean, we see the realities of our existence as Africans amongst others who are not African. So therefore, hopefully these individuals who have this measure of just constantly thinking they can assimilate, it's all kumbaya, Martin Luther King, whatever. Hopefully that something will kick in. It might be too late, I don't know. It'll kick in to say, wait a minute, let me listen to somebody who might have more experience than me, who think I can go ahead and, spend $2,000 at a water park, and they still are back in Jim Crow and apartheid era. But I don't know that. I'll pass the mic.
Yeah, facts, MD2. Hey, MD2, I want to ask you, do you have an opinion about that that white boy who shot up the FBI?
Yeah, actually, I wish more do it. I mean, he did, I have no problem when, one thing I don't have a problem, do you have these things called autoimmune diseases? And I don't know if anyone knows what, you have what is that? It starts with an L, and women get it. Autoimmune diseases, oh man, it's going to drive me nuts trying to think about it. But I don't have any problem with a social, or I should say a societal autoimmune disease. What I mean by that is they're killing themselves. When there's a school shooting and they kill themselves, or when they do, because that's in their nature. That's what they do. So this little Peckerwood that shot up the FBI, all I can say, or their FBI, excuse me, not B, their FBI. All I can say is, as Dr. Amos Wilson said, how many more are out there, and I hope they're increasing. So he doesn't end there, or the next Brad. They could go to CIA, they could go to NSA, they could go to certain banks, they could go to shoot up the Proud Boys. Autoimmune diseases sometimes can help Africans even better than us attacking enemies of us. We just wait for them to do what they got to do to themselves. So I'll pass the mic, Brother Forecast.
Yeah, absolutely. Tanzan, how much did you see of I don't know when you came in?
I usually catch up, so I saw most of it.
Okay, do you got an opinion about any of it?
Well, the one with that family, coming after their son was what? Okay, the guy whose girlfriend, stabbed him.
Right.
That one, I don't know. It's too late for the family to come now. Really, I don't know how much sympathy I can have for people who play with snakes and get bitten, So I feel bad for the family, but at the same time, this is what happens when when you go that route. It's to be expected. So I don't feel so bad about that. It's just we not only do we not learn to even I don't understand. I really don't understand how if somebody came and just hit you in the face several times and then you still want to be around him and all that. I just don't understand this love we have. We have so much love, but then we can't translate that to ourselves. But it's just frustrating. It's sad when I see these things, but at the same time, if we keep repeating the same thing over and over again, we have known who they are, but it's like we're the mad ones because we don't seem to know, what to expect. There should be like a training for every person. Like this is how you act when. Well, that one sometimes you can't really help it. Like when you encounter one of them in public. But there should be some sort of training because they train their own people. They train their own children. Like they start training them from the time they're little, like what to expect, how to deal with the world, and how to deal with other people. They train themselves in terms of jokes, in terms of what they tell each other when they're amongst ourselves. As every kind of it's just reaction. We never take action. There's never a time when people say, okay, we're going to do this and we're going to even work together. We're going to build something. That happens, but not the same way that they do. They take every opportunity to raise themselves up and to put other people down, and they do it especially when it comes to jokes. Like people don't realize how much they joke about these things, but every joke that they make has a deep and sinister streak to it. Yes, I'll hand over.
Yeah, Tanzan, I was just showing it in the back while you was talking because I know some people might missed it, but yeah, they they ended up charging her like yesterday or like a couple of days ago because they saw a video of her beating them up. But I guess only black women could be the loud, angry ones. All right, so do y'all got anything else to say? I'm gonna just play the last one.
No, go ahead.
Okay. All right, so let me share the last one. Now this is just this is an extra one, but this is a black firefighter here.
To experience a month ago, it cut me very deeply.
Jared Jones has been a firefighter for 14 years. He is suing the city and RFD for discrimination.
I'm sorry to even have to be here today, but in order for things to change, we have to do difficult things.
His lawyer, Nate McMurray, says Jones felt compelled to go to the party at the home on East Avenue because it was his captain's idea and they always travel as a team. McMurray described some of the things Jones and several other firefighters saw at the party.
He saw signs mocking Juneteenth, under which there were buckets of fried chicken.
Oh, there go that chicken thing again.
He saw on the ground posts with the pictures of elected officials throughout the yard. And when Mr. Jones went to his commanders, he went to his officers above him and he said, "This is terrible. Can you address this? Can we handle this?" They assigned him to work with the same captain his next shift. No questions today.
McMurray says Jones has been pressured by some firefighters and elected officials not to file the complaint.
Wait a second, Nate. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Nate, McMurray would not answer my question about who those people are.
I decided to speak up today because I have 2 children that maybe one day will aspire to be firefighters, and I don't want them to have to experience what I experienced. I wouldn't want your kids to have to experience that.
Yo, now I don't know what it is about like this mellow, like this octave a certain octave. We don't go below. You know what I'm saying? I gotta play this video one last time before I stop sharing the screen.
I don't want him to do anything to her.
Fuck out my way, cause I'm about to put my hands on your old ass. Get the fuck out my way.
Can you go get some help?
I don't give a fuck. Get
Go
the
sit
fuck
down.
out my way.
Sit down.
It's old motherfuckers like you, and then y'all wonder why black people act the fuck up. Because you white bitches think y'all got it all, but you got the right motherfucking one, bitch. Fucking try me. Yeah, smile all the fuck you want. I'll spit in your motherfucking face. You better back the fuck up. And what? That's a threat? Is that a threat? What? Listen, what the fuck you talking about listening to you? You told your wife to go find a seat, and you took it upon yourself to turn the fuck around and get in my motherfucking face. Now if I can put my hand on your own ass, get the fuck out of my face. Yeah. What?
That's all you need.
That's
Bobby.
goddamn what?
Bobby.
Get the fuck out of my face. Get the fuck out my face.
This man is assaulting her.
What's wrong with you, motherfucker?
He assaulted her. I'm recording
The
it right
fuck
now.
is wrong with you? What?
Yes.
What? No, get his ass back. No, get him the fuck back. I'm sick of these fucking crackers. I'm sick of you crackers. No, get him the fuck back. No, hell no. Get him the fuck back. Move. No, fuck no. Get him the fuck back. You gonna hit me? Move. Move. I'm sick of you crackers. I'm gonna fuck you up.
All right, I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna stop. That's the last one. But yeah, I'm not gonna I can ask y'all a question, but do y'all have anything to say?
It just makes me love black women more. You know, I mean, it just the sisters. It just makes me love y'all more because she did what was necessary in order to alleviate a threat that was clearly in their laws would be unlawful restraint or detention or something like that. When somebody stops you from doing something, or no, excuse me, if someone who is or someone who is non-colorless stops someone, in their laws, they say that's is tantamount to kidnapping. Well, he was trying to detain her unlawfully, which of course, that's their laws, which is what I expect because that's who they are. And she alleviated the threat as, the proper fashion. She went ahead, after he put his hands on her, she went and gave him, definitely gave him a wake-up call into some calisthenics, and he ended up on the ground. My questioning is, you had some testosterone that was over there already. Why was that not done by them? But that's a whole different video for a different time. I'll pass the mic.
Damn that. Yeah. Tanzan.
Yeah, I mean, she really, firstly, I have to admire her bravery and her strength and her passion. I mean, wow, to even have the presence of mind to do all that. The only thing I would say is I'm glad that she was okay, because unfortunately sometimes when women go up physically against men, it could end up badly for them. So I was more concerned about her, but it looked like she could take the guy, pretty easily, and then he was old, so good for her. But yeah, that's the kind of frustration and experience you go through. Sometimes people just reach a boiling point. Sometimes they just feel like no, I can't really take this anymore. I mean, if they left people alone, people would be cool. But even if you leave them alone, they still want to poke you. They still want to poke you until see how far they can go with things. So the lady reacted, and I bet they'll think twice before they encounter any black person again. And especially women, because maybe they thought, oh, she's a woman, she's by herself, maybe they can take her. But they quickly realized their mistake. So I'm glad the sister was okay. I'm glad that she can handle herself, and I'm glad those people were taught a lesson of their lives, and I hope they continue to learn every day.
Yeah, that's a fact. I'd rather be a good teacher. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta be a good teacher.
Yes.
But I want to ask y'all something about the title, deliberately accidental. You know what I'm saying? But do y'all got anything to say about that firefighter dude? And I'm gonna tie it into that. But y'all got anything to say about him?
Sure. Basically, it kind of gets the entire context of your live stream there, Brother Forecast, from what, from my perspective. Basically what it is I think what ails us, because nothing is accidental with Europeans. Everything they do is deliberate. Everything. It's very skillful. It's very, conniving. It's very tactical. It's very, it's planned. Just look at how the serial killers do what they do. Nothing is a deliberate accident, because that's an oxymoron. I mean, the biggest oxymoron. Like I said, it's like jumbo shrimp and military intelligence. Two things that don't go with each other. One of the things that I kind of caution when I made that statement earlier about our folks who are definitely might gravitate toward those with more experience, those like us who know on a daily basis what we encounter on these quote unquote deliberate psychopaths that think everything they do is accidental. One thing I kind of caution, and hopefully they'll learn that from us, is don't try to rationalize with an animal. Never try to rationalize, explain your point. Never try to debate or argue with an animal. I never do that. If I see a dog that's barking with me, I'm not going to sit there and try to, and rationalize to that mutt. I'm sick of you crackers or this, that, and the other. No, that dog is barking at me for a reason, because the next thing is teeth will follow. So therefore, if I don't have a stick, dog spray, or a gun, then, it will do its job. It's not there. The dog's not there to go ahead and try to prove to me something. Why am I going to try to prove something to a mangy mutt of my, my emotions that I'm important? I noticed that with the athlete that you played earlier. He's out there explaining. Millions of dollars, and he's trying to explain to a mutt, to a dog. I'd have more respect if they went out and saw a pigeon and tried to go ahead and do physics and play chess with a pigeon, because it's no different. Everyone else is a different species than us, and for us to spend our valuable time, because on this planet, the most valuable thing you have in your existence is your time, not your money, not even relationships to a certain extent. Your time is the most valuable thing you ever have. If you could be super healthy and die the next day, all those hours and days after that you're not going to have. So to try to sit there and rationalize and debate with a species that's not even part of our species, that's clearly, and I'm blaspheming dogs when I even equate something to a dog, because I have more respect for dogs. It's kind of like it questions our intelligence. So hopefully these individuals who are out there still trying to prove something. Now, I'm gonna tell you where it's rooted. TZ was wondering, she had asked the question why these things happen at this point, and I'm gonna tell you why. Due to our we don't trust ourselves. And I'm not saying most of us. We don't love ourselves. We don't respect ourselves. We don't even have authority within ourselves to go and control our own destiny. So therefore, we need an external source to do it for us. That's why many of our folk are trusting and looking forward to others, to control ourselves. And I'm gonna bring it to that fireman in a minute. We're looking for others as an authoritarian figure of something outside that can actually control who we are and manage who we are, respect and unfortunately many times love who we are. No, you're only going to get it through ourselves. As Dr. John Henrik Clarke says, if you look in the mirror and don't see a friend, you have no friends. Now, when it comes to that firefighter, he was unfortunately, again, example. He's the exemplary subject is what I'm saying. We're looking at someone else's fire departments, and at this late stage of the game, since 300 years since a so-called fire department has been created in United Snakes, we're the ones that we own and control. What trucks do we have? I don't know if you guys know this, but there's the celebrities out there they pay their own fire department. In other words, they give subsidies to, especially in California, to different fire departments to say, hey, if these wildfires come, I got some money. Now, if you ever know how these institutions were formed in the first place, that's how they were formed. Whether it was through the Irish or whoever else, Chicago or anything, these were private companies at first. And the reason I'm saying that is back then, of course, they were private. Now they're public. But anyways, somebody else said, I am so proud of my destiny. I'm managing my destiny. I have, love for self, even though I don't think that crackers are capable of love. I have, but they're so into making sure they protect their own selves that they created their own fire department, their own so-called police department. their own so-called hazmats. Unfortunately, because we as Africans have not, to the late stages of the game, respected ourselves, looked out for ourselves, or even think in that direction, we rely on them, their paramedics, their hospitals, their grocery stores, their cell phone stores, their manufacturers, their distributors, or whatever else. And then we question the intelligence of anyone that says, why don't we do it for ourselves? Because others would say, well, look, we can't do that. Man, they got all the power, they got all this. Again, I have to bring it back and question our intelligence first. That fireman, if he didn't know at that point, which clearly he didn't, that he was in someone else's house from the day he went out and put in an application. That if he did not consider that, I'm not saying that it had to happen, but if he did not consider that, hey, I'm working with a bunch of animals. If he didn't consider that what animals do, especially against him, might be an option, then I have to question his intelligence of not only not knowing who he's up against, but not knowing himself and going to their party in the first place. I'll pass the mic.
Yeah, and let me say this. Shouts out to my brother Koku, Bit of Medicine podcast. Mr. Untouchable said, MG2 should definitely check out. They show them all night. It's like 8 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? We definitely check that out. And Tanzan, I got the same question. My brother Bakari came on. I definitely want to let my brother Bakari say something. But after that, I got the same thing. If you want to say something about the fireman, Tanzan, but what's going on, Bakari?
Greetings, Brother Bakari.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Forecast, Tanzan, Imani Wakeway New, and MG2. What's going on? Look, I'm gonna tell you. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm gonna be honest, man. I got caught up in some family stuff. I don't even know what's going on. I just came here to speak, but I did see a little bit of it before I got caught up taking care of some business, and I'm still doing it. But where the guy was in there doing all that damn splaining, the professional basketball player, man, it's time to start getting these. It's time to just start getting them out your face, man. All that damn explaining and all of that stuff. You constantly trying to explain yourself to these people. However you got to get them out your face, I say it's time to start slapping them in their mouth. They'll leave you alone. But you know what? I believe they know who they can take that energy to. You understand? I believe they know who they can have that energy with. But it's time to start slapping them in the mouth, man. Getting them out your face, man. The time is up. The time is up for all explaining. The time is up for us running around doing this nonsense that we have been doing. And the time is up for us, I don't know, I guess trying to get everybody, just deal with the people who want to do something. And it's time to organize, and it's time to move forward, right? So now when MG2 was just speaking, I caught the end of that. He was talking about the fire departments, and we don't have a fire department. He's right. Those fire departments used to be private. You could see them fighting to see who gonna put this fire out. You find 2-3 different fire departments, right? So what they did, like in New York, once they made them public, you go to areas in New York, you start seeing the Irish, like, what is it, that little 4-leaf clover, the 3-leaf clovers, to let you know who's running that, because they just shared the stuff together once it became public. And that's things that we gonna have to start doing for ourselves. We can talk about it all we want, right? And I bother some people when I tell them the reason I don't listen to a lot of people on YouTube is a select few people that I listen to on YouTube, because they get tired of people talking about what we're gonna do. Then they turn around, send this to my Cash App, send me this, and they're not trying to do anything to build anything for us with the money. They're trying to build something for themselves. I can make you a DVD. I can actually do a couple of DVDs, a few DVDs. I can put a billboard on side the highway that say, we need reparations for descendants of American slavery, as if that means something. People playing on our emotions all the time. And once they play on our emotions, because we tend to allow our emotions to control us, and we don't control our emotions. So they tend to be able to get away with this nonsense without anybody checking it, or without anybody doing or saying anything about it. They're able to pull our people who want to do something, they're able to pull them in a direction where there's nothing going to be done, because they're playing on their emotions. Our people get high off their emotions. So now we will run and we will do anything, and then at the end of it, they add in, cut the check. So there's a lot of things we have to do. It's like several wars right now that we are fighting. We are fighting the economic war. It's also a physical battle, but we're also fighting we have an internal battle amongst ourselves that we have to win in order for us to get there. And that's my take, man. And I yield the mic. Peace and one love. I'm gonna probably try to stay on here long as I can. I probably just got like a couple more minutes. Cause like I said, I'm taking care of some family business that came up all of a sudden.
Oh, all right, yeah.
Thanks
I
for letting
mean,
me speak.
yeah, shit. If you all leave, you know what I'm saying, I appreciate you coming through. We about to wrap it up after this. I got one more question. But Tanzan, you wanted to say something though?
No, you said you had a question. Could you repeat, please?
No, I ain't asking yet. I was just saying, if you had something to say about the firefighter dude, that's all.
No, just he's one of those who went to the picnic, but I think sometimes you do sort of have to, because especially for professional reasons. So I don't really fault him as much as people who just get themselves into it. Yeah, so that's all I'll say for that.
All right, so I'm gonna ask y'all, the last question. Now I called this show Deliberately Accidental, and I'm gonna share the screen. I ain't gonna play none of this stuff, but I'm gonna just, what we've been through, just to kind of give y'all an example. Now we see the first thing, because we was talking about Alabama. So the Alabama Police Department is completely dissolved in Vincent, Alabama, because they were sending these racist things. Now it was an accident that it got out. You know what I'm saying? Now they was being very deliberate about what they were doing. Now we was talking about the NBA player brother Bakari brought up. Now I don't know if this brother thinks what she was doing is an accident or is deliberate, but it could be explained away. But he deliberately wasted his time. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's an accident or deliberate. And I'm trying to word it the best way so y'all can make this, because I'm in elementary school. You know what I'm saying? I'm in first grade, and y'all are the teachers. And I want y'all to wrap a bow on this for me. And then we see Terrell Owens, and he spoke out. Now like I said, Bakari said he wasn't playing at the time, but I could have sworn there was something going on when he was like kind of against it, but now he is. But it's this high octave that all these sports players play with. Now I don't know if he was out there just accidentally living life, you know what I'm saying, and somebody deliberately came and messed with him. But other people have this deliberateness about how they move, and we just do things accidentally, it seems, and so like this chick right here, this white girl that he talked about. Now we've seen her be actively, you know what I'm saying, she was out there beating him up, you know what I'm saying, deliberately doing this, but she accidentally killed him. Now see, like, it was an accident that he died, and it's his fault actually, because he's the big black man and she's the little white girl, but I don't know if his motives were, you know what I'm saying. And so of course this dude's actions were definitely deliberate, you know what I'm saying. What did he say? I'm trying to find it when he said be prepared for war or something. Here we go. Be ready for combat. Now his actions were definitely deliberate, you know what I'm saying, which is crazy. But here we are with black people in the hood helping this cop who was shot in the leg, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't know, is it deliberate they're doing this? You know what I'm saying? And even his sister beating white dude, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But you know, y'all get the point of what I'm saying. This black family is turned away. Now they deliberately paid $2,000 to go to this park, you know what I'm saying? But I guess the host accidentally let some black people pay $2,000 to come in the park. So, but I'm not sure if y'all get where I'm going, because you know I know I'm all over the place. But MG2, I'm pretty sure you get what I'm going. So, you know, kind of like, you know, I want y'all to put a bow on this for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Brother Forecast, every time that I listen to your broadcast is a PhD lesson for me, because you have brought so much that, you know, I know I'm at least, I got to be twice your age. And every time you speak, like I said, it's a PhD course. I mean, I'm flummoxed that I'm like, wow, man, you know, why didn't I learn this earlier? One thing that a lot of Africans, the difference between Africans and others, I call them the others. And, you know, especially if you listen to this science fiction series that I've been putting together called The Ones, they are the others. One thing different between the others and us is we as Africans walk through life in a blissfully unaware, nirvanic facade, thinking that acceptance, love, humanity, altruism, empathy, and everything else that exists in quote unquote so-called nature is common to all species, no matter what that species is. Whether it's two-legged species that folks call human that are not us, that are the others, or whether that species is a butterfly, an alligator, a snake, a dog, a rhinoceros, we as Africans have a oneness with quote unquote humanity as well as with life. So therefore, everything to us, we've got this blissfully unaware fantasy that, you know, hey, we accept. And so we walk through life in an accidental purpose. I'm going to say it again. We walk through life as an accidental purpose, whereas the others are deliberate. They're so deliberate, everything is calculated. Everything is skillfully manufactured, skillfully planned. You know, everything to the others is an act of war against everything that's in their environment, even themselves. Don't ask me that Peckerwood, who just went ahead and tried to go through their so-called FBI. You know, the FBI that killed, you know, Fred Hampton, and the same FBI that went ahead and raided Amalia Shatella, you know, last month. This Peckerwood was deliberate. There was no accident, you know, whatsoever. So he was calculating, skillfully cold calculating, which is what the others do. They don't walk through life accidental. Unfortunately, one thing I learned about life, or one thing I learned about nature, we'll even say nature, as they said, you know, back in the day, Mutnet and ancient Kemet, and there's other ways that they, you know, but anyways, one thing about nature is not accidental, or I should say nature is not accidentally deliberate, and it's not deliberately accidental. And if it is, those who recognize it recognize the accidental deliberateness or the deliberate accidentalness, and they protect themselves because of it. Everyone else does this, Brother Forecast, but us, because everything to us is an accident when we're working with deliberate psychopaths. I'll pass the mic.
Man, MG2. And that's what I'm saying. Like, a white boy who's in a protected society went at the FBI. But you know, Medgar Evers is gone, you know what I'm saying? And Bakari, what's his name? Malcolm X is gone, you know what I'm saying? We ain't run at the FBI. But you know, that was crazy though. But Tanzan.
Yeah, I'll say if there's one thing that they have is the courage of their convictions, however, you know, wrong they are. But for a lot of us, we neither have courage nor convictions, you know. At least if you were cowardly, but we still knew what was the right cause, that would help. But for a lot of people, not even that. So, you know, the ones who they're helping them, you know, the cop situation, they had the courage for sure, but they don't have any conviction behind it. They just say, oh, well, you know, if something happens, that's why we're not trained to act. We're not trained to we're not trying to act. We're not trying to be active. We're only taught to. We're not even taught to react. That's the sad thing too. If we were taught how to react, like if you're in this situation, this is what we do. But so many times these things just catch us unawares. Like we know that these things exist, but I bet you if some Karen came in your face, you'd still be as surprised as Tio or some of these other people. Like, whoa, it happened to me, So, we're still not taught like what's the best course of action, or even who to call if something like that happens. What do you do? Everything up to the fire, and people have all those drills. We should be having those kinds of drills, especially when we get more and more in contact with them. We should have a course of action. This is what you do. This is who you call. This is where you go. And this is what happens afterwards. So. Yeah, we it's not that we're lacking in character. We just don't have the direction. We don't know where to take it. So either we take it on ourselves, or we end up, pouring it out on them. But yeah, not all of us. I know that there's still a group of people, like the lady we had speaking earlier today. When she was talking to those, I think it was a Socialist Party, when she was talking to those white people at the interview. And, she kept her ground. She stood her ground, and she spoke well and eloquently, and she did not budge. So there are still people who are willing to stand up. And that gives me hope that, seeing that kind of thing gives me hope, even though the hope is quickly dashed when you see that whole Power, whatever, FM little stunt that happened. So, we go forward, and then some people drag us back up again, and then, yeah.
It's a back and forth war, Tanzan, but we're going to win. The hope going to win out, Hey, but Tanzan, real quick, what do you think about that cop video where they was helping the cop?
Yeah, that's what I said. It's misdirected courage. They don't have any kind of they just acted out of instinct. At that moment they probably just, let me do the right thing and so on, and just trying to be heroes. But like I said, it's misdirected heroism. When your own people are crying out when your children are hungry, but you're going to the other side to help your neighbor's children, that's crazy to me. When people are doing this to you, and you're still, just letting it go, or be extra forgiving. I mean, at that point, you just have to feel sorry for some people. Like how you and them, it's like you come across a gazelle, and a gazelle comes across an injured lion. What would be the sensible thing to do? What would be the simplest thing to do? Even if the lion at that time cannot, eat you, but that as soon as they get, their strength back, or as soon as they heal, or even if you're close, that lion will still try to eat you even when it's injured. So what do you think going about, trying to help it, instead of just turning and running the other way and said, hey, I didn't do it, but, they scored an own goal. You know what that means, right? In soccer, when you score an own goal.
Oh yeah, you kicking in your own net, yeah.
Yes. So yeah, that bullet was probably headed for somebody who looked like them, but it caught the right person in uniform. So peace.
Yeah, that's the truth. We definitely scored a lot of self goals over here. But yo, Bakari, I know you got to go. I only asked you because I know you was in and out. You know what I'm saying? Now, hopefully you kind of got caught up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah. You want to answer?
That's the question. Well, you was talking about accidents and deliberately, right? I just hope one day we accidentally, on purpose, decide to work together and stop going to these people's stores. How about that? We accidentally, on purpose, we accidentally, on purpose, do something together. We accidentally, on purpose, get some land and start taking care of our. We accidentally, on purpose, get us an outdoor gun range. Because everything they're doing, there's no accident in what they're doing. Even though they say it's an accident, everything they're doing is deliberate and they're calculated. Everything we're doing, it gets to say deliberate, but not calculated, because we deliberately walk and go march. They have another march planned in October. We intentionally do stuff like that, as if that's going to make stuff better. So we have to accidentally, on purpose, start moving with a purpose and start to, like I say, do things together, connect people, connect together, connect people together who want to see us do better as a people and work toward that, who want to defend us, who want to have a community watch, right? Who wanna live by a code. Because once we start living by that code, we won't be accidentally doing anything. We'll be doing it deliberately then. Right now, anything we do is an accident. So we need to accidentally do something on purpose. How about that? Because everything they're doing is no accident. And I'm talking about everybody that ain't black. White folks, Orientals, Arabs, East Indians, Hispanics. Everything they're doing is deliberate. They deliberately come into our neighborhoods and get rich. While now one thing we do that is we deliberately leave to get away from our own people, and we're scared to open a business there. But no one else is afraid of us. Everything they're doing is deliberate. But the only thing we do that's deliberate is to get away from one another, and we deliberately fight one another. But it's time to do something else, and I hear the mic.
Hey, Bakari, before you give your closing statement, those because Tanzan mentioned the lion, right? Which is interesting because you showed some brothers who let the lion live. What if I say kill the lion? What would you say?
Well, at that moment they couldn't kill the lion. I believe in killing what's killing you, right? The lion wasn't taken from them. They were taken from the lion. You kill that lion when the lion come to kill you. But at that moment, and right now, the way they are out and they were hunting and they were able to take from the lion was actually able to kill an animal that they couldn't, and they was able to take it from the lion, which is quite ironic. And they got what they need and left. So they allowed that hunter to live.
But when the lion brought a Bible over, they wasn't killing nobody either, though.
I hate that we're using the lion to represent them. I wish I'd come up with a more ignominious animal.
Can I ask you? Can I ask you guys something?
Yeah.
I'm glad that you brought that up, TZ and Brother Forecast. I don't know, and maybe you guys have seen this. If there was an injured person, have you ever seen a lion try to go ahead and help an injured person? Hey, let me bandage that up for you. You got shot, or let me see what I can do to help you out. Maybe you need some help. It's kind of counterintuitive, because even a lion has common sense. When it sees, even if it's not prey, if it's injured, it knows, hey, that's not another lion. I'm just going to go about my way if I can't eat it. But for some reason, we tend to think that, that we have to bandage everybody else up, especially those who are not of our ethnicity. And, like TZ said, misdirected heroism. If you guys ever come across where in nature, there's like a predator, or it doesn't even have to be a predator. And if it sees an injured human or anything, let me know and send me the video where it goes in to try to bandage that thing up and make sure it's okay. I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And let me say, I was just messing with Bakari, but yeah, I only used that because that video Bakari showed these hunters and they took the food from the lion, you know what I'm saying? And I actually asked MD2 that before, and MD2, you said a great answer. You said maybe they killed enough lions to where they know that lion won't try them no more, and I ain't gonna say, I ain't front, I ain't think about that. But yeah, I agree with you though, Bakari. I was just messing with you. But Bakari, I know you gotta go, so you want to give your closing, John, first?
Yeah, man. Look, thank you for letting me speak on your panel. It was good to be on the panel. I wish I could have caught the whole show, but like I said, I got caught up taking care of family business. Tanzan, it was good being on the panel with you again.
Yes, always. Thank you.
MG2, it was good being on here with you again. And peace to the chat, man. I'm out. One love.
All right,
Yes,
peace,
brother.
brother.
Okay. I'm sorry, Focus. I have to go quickly too, because I have my SNN show in a few hours too, at 4 p.m., 4 a.m. Eastern. Yeah.
Oh damn.
So
All right. Yeah,
it
go
was
ahead.
good catching up with you, all of you. MG2, you have an invitation, a mandatory invitation tomorrow, Saturday, for the Bitter Medicine podcast.
Definitely.
Hope we'll see you there. A friendly one. But peace, Brother Forecast, and peace, MG2. Always a pleasure and an honor. And peace to everyone in the chat. It's Sister Rovital, Vital Vegetarian. Yes, I agree with everything you say. So, peace.
Yo, thank you for coming on, Tanzan. And like I said, I always say, you know, if anybody is more whatever than me, it would be MG2 and my sister Raw, you know. So yeah, MG2, take as long as you need, my brother.
First off, Brother Forecast, like I said, I can't thank you enough because I'm always learning. Every time you speak, I'm like, dang, I mean, it's like going to a college course, and I love it, and I need that. And Brother Bakari and TZ, you know, you guys are the ones who start my day, okay? You know, because you guys come with a very clear-cut, you know, rationale in terms of where we stand as a people. When Brother Bakari was talking earlier, you know, talking about in terms of, you know, of us, you know, building and doing for ourselves. I mean, it's so clear cut, and it's like the most obvious thing, Brother Forecast. I always tell folks that it's like when we were children and we had Easter egg hunts. When you know the Easter egg that everybody used to walk by, and it was the last one, nobody could ever find it. Everybody's like, "Where's that Easter egg? Where's that?" And that Easter egg would be the one that's like sitting right next to the table where everybody was sitting, because it's the most obvious. Brother Bakari reveals that obvious nature in terms of the fact that we as African people are not looking at the obvious. The thing that's right in front of our face, our solutions are right in our hands, is what he says many a time. TZ, I thought I could come up with stories, but I got to hand it to TZ because, you know, when TZ brought, you know, the aspect of you know, just lions in general, or just you know, the animal in general. If we as Africans could start looking at everyone else as a different species, as something, and the reason I say that is because we have given everyone else the humanity that we deny ourselves. I'm going to say it again. We have given everyone else the humanity that we as Africans have denied ourselves. Okay? And here's what I mean. Either through our actions, you know, and I'm not just saying being against one another, even though that's a big part of it, through who we elevate and who we celebrate, or who puts celebrities in front of us because we think that that's our motive of survival, which really isn't. We've given everyone else humanity in what we spend. Everything from a light bill to our shoes to medical care. It goes into someone else's pockets. We've given someone else humanity, and I'll even take it further, and that's pretty intense. What we eat. Okay? I mean, look at the foods we eat. You know, look at what we used to have in terms of farming and things like that. Now we've got food deserts. Now I'm gonna hit home like Dr. Amos Wilson would do, because I learned it from him. We've given others humanity in who we worship. Okay, I mean, you go into these churches, mosques, synagogues, and wherever else. I mean, many of us don't even, like Dr. Amos Wilson said, don't even know an African God. And if we do, we'll run away from it and say, no, we're an Israelite or a Moorish or Islam or whatever religion of you know, a Christian, whatever religion, because we have given someone else the humanity that we deny ourselves. Brother Forecast, it's quite simple. Our solutions are quite simple, and they're right in front of our face. And in order to see that, we have to open our eyes. Okay, and when I say open our eyes, I'm not just talking about being revealed and being, you know, some kind of revelation, you know, some etherical, abstract revelation. I'm saying really seriously, open your eyes. Every time you look in that mirror, if you don't see that human, and every time you look away from that mirror, you don't see that animal, then clearly it's going to be you be the one that's being hunted. On that note, Brother Forecast, thank you, and I'll sign off.
Yo, thank you, MG2, for coming on. I appreciate all the you know, knowledge and wisdom you definitely come on. So yo, I appreciate every time you come on. I appreciate, you know, Tanzan, the knowledge that she got, you know, my brother Bakari, you know, everybody that's in there, Koku, you know, of course my sister Raw, you know, Raw is the Raws, you know, and you know, that's why I always got love for her. Mr. Untouchable, everybody that came in here, you know, so definitely Koku has a good show, the Bitter Medicine podcast tomorrow. Let me put that in the chat real quick. So before I get up out of here, put his in the chat. Make sure y'all definitely check it out. Yo, JB, I appreciate it. You still watching, I didn't even know. Appreciate it. All right. All right, so yeah, I appreciate all of y'all for coming through, man. And it's always love, you know. But, you know, I would say this, you know, it's time for us to start being deliberate, you know. And if positive things come out that accidentally, then that's what's up. But, you know, we have to make deliberate decisions, you know, take deliberate actions. And not just talk about it, but really be about it. If we want to hold ourselves and, you know, uplift ourselves, pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps, if you will, again, because we are the only group of people who have ever done that. And don't ever forget it. You have no reason to doubt yourself. And I understand that sometimes, you know, it's hard, but, you know, it's even harder to continue to be the way that we are. You know what I'm saying? And we can't let all of these accidents keep happening to us. You know, it's time to be deliberate about who we are and what we want. Do we want comfort or do we want freedom? But with freedom comes responsibility. But at the end of the day, we are all we got, whether we like it or not. And it seems like we don't like it. But it is what it is, you know. We are all we got. And until we realize that, then the same thing will keep happening over and over. But as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're going to keep falling for anything.